What's up? What's up? What's up? Another live stream. Welcome everybody here in the house. Make sure you guys hit the like button on your way in. You guys know the drill. And we've got a full house on a Sunday. Bitcoin just crossed over 17K. And we've got Tradix to talk about today. So we've got a ton of people in the house. We're going to go around the horn a little bit. Everybody just kind of introduce yourself and what you're working on inside the Tradix platform. And Hugo, we'll start with you, man. Very much appreciate you joining us as well.
Wow, you just put me on the spot like that. Okay.
Good man, go.
Well, I am Hugo. I am the software dev for Tradix. I've been the one working on the application now for several months. My background is software engineering. I have a master's in psychology as well as in computer engineering. I do a lot of database structural engineering as well, which is of course what led me to have the skill set to work on the Tradix app. So yeah, that's a quick background about me. Regarding what I like to do for fun, I love basketball and yeah, traveling. So that's just a rough summary.
I love it, man. I'm a big Cavs fan. Of course, we had our stints with LeBron.
Let's go.
But yeah, I'm from right outside Cleveland, so LeBron's my guy. I watched him play in high school. He beat our high school up pretty good. So he's still doing it, man. 38, still doing it.
Absolutely, he's still doing it. Still doing it.
That's cool. Zach, how about you, man?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thank you, and nice to be on here today. Yeah, we do have a full house, and it's always fun to join you guys and to talk about what we love doing. So. Tyler and I are co-founders of Rolodex. Rolodex is the launch pad where Tradix is launching from. We're also very intertwined into the day-to-day operations of Tradix, working with Hugo. You should see our private chat. It's nothing pretty, but yeah. So the day-to-day operations, getting everything ready, and obviously the contract behind Tradix token. How that interacts, obviously with what everyone's going to be buying. So that's what we've been working heavily on and making sure everything ties together, from everything that Hugo's working on to everything on the token side, the community, the investors, and so forth.
That's awesome. And we've got Tyler in the house. Tyler, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? Happy to be here. So as Zach said, we wear a lot of hats. Rolodex also did the funding for the project. So we took care of, that's a part of our use case. We fund projects. And when Hugo came in and pitched this one to us, I mean, we were like, we need to be involved. So Zach and I wear a ton of hats on the project. We can make sure Hugo's not losing his mind, and he's done a great job through it. We found that he's helping us not lose our mind, and the team is just jived together so perfectly. So we're having a ton of fun.
That's great. Yeah, I want to start just by talking, about the problem you guys are solving, because when I first talked to Zach about it, I love this idea, right? Because so many of these DeFi tokens that aren't on centralized exchanges, you can't set the stop losses, right? So you go to sleep at night, you're thinking, man, hopefully I can get 7 hours and wake up and my balance looks similar to when I went to sleep. So I'm kind of giving it away a little bit, but Hugo, do you want to kind of talk a little bit more about the problem you guys are solving with this application and token that goes live tomorrow?
Absolutely, Zach. So one of the major problems I think this is definitely taking care of is being able to just go to bed. I can't count or tell you how many times that I've bought a token and just went to bed and wake up and it just wrecked, and there you go, you lost a ton of money. Tradix, to put it in a very simple term, is actually resolving that problem by either selling for you when you want to sell or even buying for you. So if there's a token that you've been monitoring, you don't have to be on DEX tools over and over again, clicking on that refresh button to see if it's down to the price that you're looking for. You just set what price that you're looking for, and it can notify you to go buy, or it can just automatically buy for you, or you can sell for you when you make that 2 or 3x that you're looking for. Again, there's a lot of analytics that is currently going into this, software to make sure that it's intelligent enough to know exactly, when to give you that notification. And I think just having that peace of mind is actually one of the biggest perks that Tradix has. And I think it's something that has been extremely needed in the space. So I am super excited, and I think it's going to make a lot of DJs happy, and not just the DJs, but as well as the seasoned traders as well.
So,
And
actually, let
go
me ask
ahead, Austin. Yeah, go ahead.
So, Hugo, I mean, this is obviously a problem, that an issue that's been around, well, in DeFi, right? This specifically, I got to move now. You're quit changing your view, man. So, got to stay on camera. My question is this, Hugo. Obviously, this is something that's existed in DeFi for a while, right? I mean, this specific scenario. Why do you think it hasn't really been addressed before until what you guys are doing now with Tradix, and you know, this is something that's big, but why do you think that this has not been resolved as of yet to effectively, you know, bring this functionality into the DeFi space?
So honestly, to answer your question, I think just crypto is fairly new. There's a lot of opportunities for you to create a lot of striking innovations. And not to talk of the degen space. So not everyone really thinks of meme coins, right? A lot of seasoned investors buy more blue chip, like Bitcoin or Ethereum. And this tech already exists on actual platform. Like if you go on Coinbase or on Binance, you can actually set stop loss for your portfolio. But it's not in the degen space. Like it's not in the, like in the open market where you could just find any token, basically. So I think that's one of the major things is, this market, the meme coin space is very, very open. There's a lot that could potentially be done that hasn't been done yet. And I think there's just a lot of room for the innovation.
Fair enough.
And there are a few other, web interfaces where you could go on, connect your wallet, set a stop loss. And I've used them, and they didn't work for me on new tokens. So our big thing that we wanted to really focus on was speed. And that's where Hugo's absolutely killed it. I mean, you could literally pick something up that just launched and get in, set your parameters, and it's going to work flawlessly. But the other big thing for me, no matter what, if the chart dumps, I still kind of want to be able to go in and look at the Telegram real quick, look at everything and say, do I really want to sell? So that's where those alerts come in handy too. If you kind of want the final say, it's dumping, and at least you can get up, go check things out, but it doesn't necessarily have to, make the trade for you. And there's not much out there too doing the alerts as well. And you could set all kinds of alerts given the chart, not to mention a ton of them that we're going to have coming out that we haven't really released yet. But
Tyler, so with that, I mean, kind of how I really think about it, and Zach, when we first started talking, I mean, I'm a very black and white linear guy. And so the way I think about it is it's literally bringing the functionality of centralized trading, if you will, to DeFi. That's literally kind of how my brain thinks of it. Right. And so is that an accurate assessment or kind of an accurate statement?
Yeah, that is very accurate.
Yeah. Okay. That's how I think.
I'll tell you guys, I could have used there's rarely will I jump into new projects. And a couple of days ago, a buddy of mine is like, you want to get in on this, trust me, throw something at it. Right. So tossed, an ETH or two at this project. And right before this video, I checked the chart. Well, I'm not using the Tradix application for all my trades yet. Granted, it'll be out and we'll start using it for everything. I'll tell you, just as a trader, everyone feels this pain.
Yeah.
Right. I'll tell you, the gut wrenching feeling of opening up the chart in the morning and seeing your portfolio or the value of a new coin or new token that you just bought be 1/10 of what you bought it at. It sucks. So yes, having that centralized functionality in the decentralized space is a perfect one sentence recap of what we're doing, and that is going to save a hell of a lot of money for a lot of people. And it's going to be fun. And like Tyler's mentioning, the alerts are working cross chain, right? It's not just new ETH tokens. We have, there's BSC tokens that I'm tracking. There's even Palm Chain tokens that I'm tracking. These are brand new, blockchains and brand new tokens that are already being tracked right now.
Very cool.
Which is awesome. And we've got some questions already rolling in. If you guys want to start sprinkling in your questions, I'll be looking in chat too. So as you're listening to the team here from Tradix, you want to hop in there. We've actually got one from Daniel. This is, something you guys could probably speak to a little bit. If I wanted to sell, in his example here, 50 million of a crypto, how long would it take to execute the trade? Does it matter how much he has, or what's kind of the baseline time frame we're looking at in order for that trade to be executed?
So basically, there is actually no time frame technically. I mean, you can set your own gas, limits and your slippage. If you like, obviously, the higher the slippage you have, the quicker it will execute. So it doesn't matter if you want to sell 50 million or 50 billion. It's still using the same code base, so it can execute that regardless.
Well, let me. So Hugo, let me clarify or ask a question a different way. It's a good question. So I guess we need let excuse me, it's got something in my throat. Let's take a step back. I mean, the Tradix app, it interfaces to say MetaMask, right? I have a MetaMask wallet, right? Is the trade you set the stop loss order in Tradix, but isn't it notifying my MetaMask wallet to actually execute the sale? I think that's what we need to clarify is where is the trade happening or how is that process?
So there is a bot that connects directly to your MetaMask wallet or your Coinbase wallet. And when you connect your wallet, we have access to know what kind of tokens you have inside of that wallet. We don't have access to actually, directly go in and do the trade for you, but the bot connects and, through that wallet connect that we currently have, and that's where, that trade actually happens. So we have different step losses that we do set. So let's say you want to sell at like a 50% gain. There's several percentage options that you can set. And, you can choose 10%, 20%, 50%. When it gets to that parameter that you have set within the app, then the bot goes in and it tries to sell for you. Now, if you have the lower slippage, there's a possibility that it could fall through, but you can put another that parameter, let's say at maybe 65%. And when it falls through that, then it catches it at that other parameter. So the main thing is just making sure that, of course, there's enough gas in your MetaMask wallet and that you also set a higher slippage because it's the bot that'll be doing that transaction for you.
Yep. Yeah. But I'm glad you quantified or clarified that, Hugo, because I think that is the confusion is like, oh, is Tradix actually doing, you see what I'm getting at? The actual trade is happening on my MetaMask wallet where that is. And I think that's because that goes back to that question, and that we had earlier. So thanks for clarifying that.
Yeah.
And Hugo, the trade is happening just because I know some people have asked this. The route of the trade is via Etherscan if it's an ETH token versus, connecting through Uniswap and actually going through Uniswap, right?
Right, correct. Absolutely.
People will be confused about that, Tyler, because they're like, oh, it's Tradix. It's actually the trade is happening in Tradix. No, it's
mm-hmm. So it's not a DEX itself. We don't have liquidity on Tradix. You don't have to list your token on Tradix to be able to use it. You're going to be able to use it with any token. And that's just allowing Tradix to execute the trade for you.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that's what's extremely unique about this. Like you can literally launch a token now, Austin, and it just fetches it. When you use a centralized exchange, you basically have to list on that exchange for them to even have access to your token. So I think just giving that DeFi space, giving people like the actual opportunity to actually have some tech behind meme coins is what I think gives this thing value.
100%. And something I've said to Austin, and I think Zach, you and I were talking about this when we first chatted. It's these type of companies and projects that are building something like this, filling a gap. I think this is really the era for that. I really think this, because of all these tough times right now and the fallout from all these centralized figures and exchanges and the Contagion and the Terra Luna, everything, right, from 2022. This is the time for great companies to come in and say, okay, what's wrong with the space and where can we help? And that's why I really liked what you guys are building here, because this certainly helps in that community token meme coin space. So real quick, just to clarify, I know, Zach, you and I talked about this, but this is only Ethereum ERC20 tokens right now, correct?
Well, as far as executing the trades, yes. As far as the alerts, no. The alerts are working cross-chain. The automating trading features will start on just Ethereum, and then we'll be going out from there. But you mentioned a really good point about, you know, everything falling out in the space and you know, going on hard times. I think those times are needed in order to see how much projects like this or technology like this is needed. Because, you know, during the last bull market, you could throw money at almost anything and then walk away and say, hey, we're good. I know I'm going to come back to more money tomorrow.
You're a genius.
Exactly. I'm such a good trader. But then when things start to fall, yeah, that's Tyler.
Right.
Just like, you know, he is a good trader. No, when things start to fall, that's where you really start to see, you know, what's needed and what's going wrong in the space. And yeah, great projects. You know, I have a lot of friends that were working their asses off building over the last year when things were completely bottomed out and saying, okay, this is going to be needed, you know, in the coming years, and you know, everyone will be able to use this. And this is exactly why Tyler and I teamed up with Hugo. And the second that we met with him, we're like, yes, this is the kind of stuff that's needed in the space, especially coming off of all of the downfalls of these major, you know, centralized exchanges and these big figures, you know, doing some sketchy activity. Is we need to bring more of the strong technology to the DeFi space to allow more flexibility and functionality for the everyday traders.
Awesome. We've got a bunch of people in the house. Boca, really appreciate everybody for stopping by, especially the guys like Boca, really helping keep the chat going. And Common Sense, thank you so much for the $100 donation. Really appreciate that. Brian says, what is the Tradix website URL? So Tradix.tech. All the links are down below in the description too, if you guys want to check these out. So their Telegram's down there, the Twitter's down there, the website's down there. Also a full review from me on the channels down there too. So if you want to do a deeper dive and watch that video after the stream, that link's down there for you as well. We just put that up a couple of days ago. So all of that's down there for you. So Chavang has a question. Is there any pre-sale or private investor before token launch? If so, how many? And are they vested for a certain time period? Who wants to take that one?
I'll take that one. So there's a couple different things to work through as far as previous investors, current investors, previous projects. So when we met with Hugo originally, there was a token that was running called VaderX. And there clearly was a major rebrand from VaderX to Tradix to make sure that the technology behind it and the application met exactly where the technology was and linked up with it and was a correct face and brand behind it for the technology that was coming out. As such, VaderX tokens VaderX token holders had the ability to send their tokens in order to receive an airdrop of Tradix. So there was a very small group. And keep in mind, VaderX was not at a high market cap when this happened, so they will be getting their value that they sent in tokens, not the same token.
And Zach, I also want to add in too, and VaderX was not Hugo's project. Hugo, this shows how good of a guy he is. The developer kind of just took off on that project. Hugo had this amazing use case that he's been working on and was in kind of deciding to take it over. And that's where we kind of came to the plan that you shouldn't be building this. It doesn't match your utility. It's kind of tanked. You should be kind of launching a new project and we'll take care of the old investors. So I just wanted to make sure to get that in there that Hugo didn't launch VaderX.
Fair enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Tyler, just to cut in there. So the dev of VaderX technically did not take off. It was actually a mutual agreement. He had other responsibilities that he wanted to like take care of, and we met and we had a discussion, and he decided to hand over the contract as well as his investors to me. So it wasn't, just to clarify that. I have a lot of respect for the guy, and I think that's actually what led to Tradix.
Yeah. So circling back to that, and thank you, Hugo, for clarifying that. VaderX holders. So when Hugo took over that project, there's a handful of holders for that. So they had the ability to send in tokens, their VaderX tokens, to then get an airdrop of Tradix. So that handful of people that sent their tokens in will be getting an airdrop immediately post launch. No airdrops will be done before launch. The contract will not be released. No functionality of the contract will be released. There's a lot of stuff that we'll be releasing at launch, just so there's no, and thank you for putting that question up, just so there's no snipers, just so there's no people calibrating their bots to jump in. So yes, none of that info will be released until launch. So the people that sent in their tokens will be getting an airdrop. There's two other classifications or categories of people that helped with funding of this project, though. As we mentioned in the very beginning of the AMA, Tyler and I are from a project called Rolodex. Rolodex funds project. One of the things that we do is we have a group that pools money together to fund projects. So the Rolodex whales have an allocation of the tokens. Those are locked for 30 days. And upon the 30th day, those will be released to that group of people. There's one other category of people, and that is the Meme Kong Onyx tier. So that's the top tier of Meme Kong. So Rolodex and Meme Kong partnered on this launch just to make it more successful, bigger, and better for everyone. So that small group of people will also be getting tokens as well.
I think everybody out there appreciates that transparency, especially what we've gone through. That really helps people kind of see what's going on here. Obviously, you guys are here too, the faces, but behind the project. I was just thinking one of the big issues are those snipers and bots that come in. So Hugo, when you're done building out this, man, we've got another problem to solve if you want to jump to that one.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Austin, you got anything? I'm going to roll through chat here and see if anybody else is asking questions.
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, Hugo, just spend a week or so and you can solve that problem. The anti-sniper,
right.
Whip it out
like a bot that somehow makes sniper bots fail.
There you
go. That's
That's what we need, Hugo.
That's just a few minutes of your time. Yeah, just a few minutes. No, I want to reiterate something that Zach just brought up for you guys, and that is the fact that you're here. It's awesome. I mean, and all that, but the fact of what, you guys just went through as far as delineating the levels of all of that, that's good stuff, man. I mean, and that's really truly what we need. And, ultimately crypto has just got to be better, and it is getting better. I mean, it's in its infancy stage, and you're going to have the bad actors, and we've all gone through that. And it's good this is a nice, refreshing, very refreshing, experience that you guys are, doing what you're doing. You're saying, you guys have gone through just the levels that of who gets these allocations and who they are, and you're not hiding anything. And this is it. And so I just want to applaud that. So it's cool.
So Josh has a question down here. Will Tradix be able to connect to Coinbase wallet?
Yes. The simple answer to that is yes. We are. Oh, go ahead.
No, I think you're up. Go ahead, you.
I think Zach was going in and out there for a minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we're going through Wallet Connect, which of course has Trust Wallet, Coinbase wallets, as well as MetaMask. And we also have an API that we're pulling directly from MetaMask and from Coinbase. So yes, Coinbase is the major, wallet that you can actually connect to.
Awesome. Now let's Hugo or Tyler, whoever wants to kind of jump in here first. Let's kind of explain to the people, you know, kind of the free version of the application, and then how and why the token is interjected here. Because some people may ask, well, great platform, why do you need the token? But I was clearly demonstrated why that is when Zach kind of, you know, opened my eyes to it, because there's going to be kind of different versions. You want to speak to that, just kind of how that tiered approach is going to be set up?
Yeah. So the V1 Hugo's finished, and Zach and I played around with it. It's amazing. And the cool thing about that, he's already gotten it approved to get into the App Store and the Play Store, and that should be in there, you know, hopefully maybe tomorrow, hopefully with launch. That's going to be free to everybody. That has all the alerts. You know, we want everyone to benefit from this. I mean, Hugo has been telling us how much money he's been making in this market just from the alerts. He tells us every day how excited he is. Because I haven't even been trading right now, but Hugo's figured it out, and he's making money in this terrible market just with using the alerts. So that's going to be free to everybody. We're going to be releasing in the before launch. We're going to let everyone know the amount of Tradix that you need to hold to access V2. V2 is pretty, you know, it's getting close, so it's going to be out pretty soon, and that's going to be the automated trading feature. We're going to make sure everyone knows before launch, so the people that are there early can get in, try to buy that amount that you need to unlock the automated trading features. But we will do a verification on your wallet just to see if you're holding a certain amount, and we'll let you know all the details for that before launch, and that's going to unlock kind of those premium features. And there will be more premium features coming down the line than just this automated trading. So even if it's something where you think, oh, you know, the alerts are maybe just fine, or I'll buy it later, one, the price of it may go up quite a bit, but two, there's going to be some other features down the line that you really might want. So that's kind of how it's going to work.
No, that helps a lot. So just to clarify for everybody out there who might be just tuned in as Tyler was going through that. So there will be a free version where you'll be able to track all of your assets, which is super beneficial. Hugo's been making money in this type of market, just being able to track all these DeFi tokens. But in addition to that, if you hold X amount of tokens, which will be announced pre-launch, then you'll also get access to the stop loss and the actual botted trading, right? Well, stop loss trading.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So let's see here. At least these guys aren't claiming to feed starving children. That's hilarious, right? Because I mean, you know what? Let's talk about that though, because so many of these projects, that's exactly what they do. I mean, and we've all been duped by great ideas, right? But I mean, you guys have a clear path. It's very singularly focused, which I like that. I mean, so many people have these elaborate roadmaps, and here's what we're going to do in 2024 and 2025. How do we even know the market wants that in 3 years, right?
Yeah, right.
That always blows my freaking mind, right? Like, we're going to change the world not only right now, but in 2025, because we know exactly what the people want and what the crypto market is going to look like then. But I think, again, to Zach's earlier point, we kind of learn throughout this process, like what works, what doesn't work. Investors are getting smarter. We've all been around this block a little bit. So I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but anybody want to speak to that? Just
yeah,
he does that.
It must be a Zach thing to ramble on and to keep talking when everyone else is like, all right, dial it down, because Tyler tells me that all the time.
Yeah, so Tyler, you and I will talk off, and we'll talk about how these guys are the same. We'll just
Zach's been good. Zach's been good today. Usually Zach's talking the whole time, and Hugo and I are just like staring in the camera.
We have a lot in common, Zach. No, I think there is a lot to be said about that, because the bad actors aren't just the centralized exchange big figures on it. You're right. It's all of the people in DeFi as well. And and let me know if I'm cutting out or not. I'm getting alerts that internet is unstable. So so the bad actors is the guys that come out with these charity tokens, with these crazy roadmap use cases that are all over the place, right? And you know, ask any of the people that have been involved with, you know, Tyler and I or the Rolodex community in the past. We're literally spending every day trying to figure out how to bring, you know, safety and transparency and really just ease of use to the space. And this is exactly, you know, spot on with exactly what we're trying to do is technology like Tradix, transparency like communication like this, and really just bringing some fun back to it. Because if you don't have to look over your shoulder or worry about every single thing you're doing, we can have fun with it again. You know, a lot of people, yeah, they're here to make money, but they're also here because they like it, right? And if we could make the space a little bit better again, then we've done our job.
And not to
100%.
mention that's why we pushed launch back. I mean, we wanted to wait for the market to improve. We thought January was gonna be a better month, but we wanted to prove it to everyone that, hey, this is being built and we're gonna have a utility at launch, not, hey, buy our token, pad our wallets, and then, you know, it's coming. Just have faith in us, even though we've told you that so many times.
Yeah. Give us 8 months and we'll be back. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've heard that. P. Morton speaks to that, right? Yeah. Just trust us. Yeah. We've heard that from so many projects, right? But Texas has a question. Just tuned in. What's the total supply of Tradix? Do you guys want to talk about the tokenomics a little bit?
That's a sniper question.
Yeah. So
that's fair.
So no, you know, there you go. It is what it is.
And I think here's the thing on that, because Austin and I both work with a really, really great company that they haven't released that information. They didn't put it out there, and it actually helped in their bot attacks. They didn't even have a roadmap.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, it's kind of a changing of the guard in that way too. It's like, how much information do you really need to put out there? Because these bad actors like the bots, you know, or like the snipers will come in. I don't know.
Well, if you know total supply, and let's say we start putting out, there's different contracts coming out with different tickers, and you're trying to guess it, you can kind of process of elimination, figure out which contract is ours. And so that's why we're not given the total supply. I don't mean to make it sound like you're using a bot. Maybe you're not, maybe you are. I don't really know who needs to know the total supply. It doesn't really matter if it's 10 or if it's 100 trillion to me. But that will come out at launch, just so we can be as careful as possible with this.
Well, but Tyler, this goes back to what kind of the narrative, what we've been talking about. I think crypto needs to grow up, and it is growing up. It's an evolutionary scenario. Crypto needs to evolve. It needs to change. And you know, 2 years ago, it was we're going to launch today. Here's our token. Zach's point, pad our wallets, and we'll see you in a year when we come back and launch. Here's our utility. And I think that era is way far gone. Thank God. Right. Yeah. And so I like that. I didn't know, for example, Tyler, that y'all pushed back the launch. I didn't know that. I think I applaud that. I applaud that you're like, hey, we're not ready yet. So if we're not ready, we're not launching. See that, but that's how the real world works. And crypto has been just, let's call it a money grab. You know, we're going to launch our tokens and then just trust us that we'll bring this utility to you. So again, that's fine. And as far as like divulging your tokenomics or whatever it is, it's a fair question that we got asked, but I actually applaud the way you answered it, because again, crypto needs to grow up. Crypto needs to change. In a real business world, you don't divulge every component and every aspect and everything about your business. You know, you don't do that, you know? And so again,
no, it's true.
I
mean, no, I'm with you. We hadn't, you know, and I know he didn't mean anything, and
it was a good,
but
it was a fair question.
We had an investor in our Telegram ask, so what's the marketing plan? And I'm like, I don't need to tell you that. Like, sit back, relax. If you like it, invest. If you don't invest. And it's funny, in these Telegrams and these communities, people just demand stuff and they expect us to answer. So I'm there with you. I mean, if you want to invest. If you don't, but many communities control the project.
Hold on, Tyler, but to your point, do you think that Amazon or Apple is out there giving their exact strategy and roadmap?
What's their roadmap for the next 3 years? What's Apple going to do with all that money they're sitting on? They're just going to tell us? They're just going to tell us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Good luck.
No, I agree.
You know, I lost the word, but it's and I think again, that's the evolution of crypto. And because historically we've all been around this block. Projects have answered that individual. Oh, well, here you go. It's this, right? And then there becomes this assumption of the next project that launches. They're going to give us this thing. And I'm a whale. You should be able to tell me, nope. You want to put in $1, you want to put in $1 million. It doesn't matter. This is proprietary information. And that's what I would say to you. You think Apple's going to tell you what their freaking marketing plan is for the next 3 years? No, they're not. Or a year or whatever it is. They're not going to do that. So, Anyway, so I'll get off. I'll shut up. I'll go over here now.
No, I'm with you. It's the same with like locking liquidity and locking tokens, burning tokens. You do it because the community demands you to, and unfortunately,
renouncing your contract.
What? I know. Stupidest thing ever.
No,
it's stupid. But people always they want to see the contract renounced as if like, I did it this one time and it's perfect. I'll never have to change it. I'll never have to pivot in my business again. I figured it out. It'll be good from now until 2025.
But that's Zach. That's a lack of education in the crypto community.
Here's what it is. I think we're battling with this thing between decentralization and how real businesses run.
Fair
right?
enough.
Because in crypto, we love the idea of decentralization, but everything can't be 100% decentralized in order for a real business to operate like a real business.
Yeah, because
it can't be like that.
Well, Tradix in this example,
we have to find this hybrid model. And I think that's what we're trying to figure out right now.
Yeah.
The company that, that I was speaking of earlier, you know which one I'm talking about. They're doing that now. Right. And I think Tradix similarly, they're kind of finding that middle ground between, yes, we're decentralized, you have a voice, but we're still going to run a business how we see fit, right?
Yeah. And if you're an investor, you're going to benefit from that.
Yeah.
Buy it or not. Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Right.
It's true. And that's why our faces are out there. Hopefully it allows us to not renounce the contracts in case, God forbid, we need to change something. But no, I'm with you. But it's true. People have been screwed over so many times. It's what they have to do to be safe, and it's just tough.
But Tyler, but that you mentioned in passing an interesting point. I can almost guarantee you that you will have to change the contract for something. I mean, and just running the business is all I'm trying to say. The business will change. It will evolve. Something will happen. You will all possibly, and so that's why the renouncing thing is just like, what? Why would you? I can never change it ever until the end of time.
Oh yeah. And Rolodex, I mean, we whitelist some of our bigger wallets if they need to sell so they can OTC to someone else and they don't get taxed versus dumping on our chart. So it's even simple things like that. People that always ask, why not renounce? It incentivizes people to do OTCs versus dump on the chart. And that's kind of one of the biggest reasons we don't like doing it.
We got a question here from Josh again. Can't wait to try out the site. And we haven't really gone into this too much, but there will be both a version for the phone, but there's also going to be a desktop version of this as well. So in terms of when it goes live on the app tomorrow, right, guys?
Yes. Yeah. So it's been submitted to the App Store earlier this week. Just waiting for all their shenanigans and all the red tape and, paperwork that is required for it. But we're hoping that it goes live on the 9th. If not, then most likely on the day after that.
Okay. And then the desktop version, I don't know if you don't have to give a specific date, but that's something that's going to be worked on afterwards.
Absolutely. And that can come out, in a matter of like weeks. The good thing about Tradix is it's a cross-platform app. So it's going to be both on the Play Store and on the App Store. The technology allows us to have it even like on the desktop. So it's just more about building it for a desktop. But the same code base can work on iOS, Android, and on your web browser.
Awesome. All right, so this comment right here is epic. Zach, dude, you actually do look like Charles Hoskinson. That's what this guy's talking about. He said, is that the Cardano dude? And from afar, as you sit back, I could see it. I could see Charles Hoskinson hanging out right there.
Where do you think the money came from to buy this house?
Exactly. Exactly.
Is that
Do you
your?
think that?
Where's
Do
you
you
have
think
that
that?
ranch, Montana or something? Is
Yeah,
that where
you
you're
think
at
that
right now?
baby? You think that grand piano in the background was cheap?
I got the same one.
We're with the founder of Cardano right now, Charles Hoskins. I love it, man. I didn't really put that together. I took a minute. I'm like, who's he talking about?
Is that the Cardano dude? I was like, yeah. Now you see it. Now that's all I see, Zach. That's all I see. Is you're the.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's
That's
funny.
awesome. So Daniel's one of our friends. He's always being facetious. So can I take this as a challenge to attempt successfully sniping the launch? No, Daniel. That's not how that.
Daniel, and by the way, Daniel is a good guy, but he's
He's a good
definitely
guy.
one of the smartest people in the room. So he's a good guy. He's kidding you. So
Well, no,
this-
those are the people that usually somehow figure it out. It's hard to not have, someone snipe a launch,
Oh, it's
but
gonna happen,
it's about
yeah.
it's about trying to minimize it.
So speaking of the launch, actually, real quick, tomorrow afternoon, is that kind of the target time tomorrow after? How much do we want to divulge? I know you guys want to kind of leave it somewhat loose to keep some of the botted attacks out, but how much you want to share on that?
Yeah, so
Crickets.
we'll be given a time frame on it.
Okay.
It'll be kind of tomorrow afternoon, U.S. time. We'll give a time frame to everyone though.
Be in the Telegram.
Be in the Telegram. We'll probably post it on Twitter as well. But I'm thinking the window will be a few hour window.
Okay. And those links, anybody out there, those links are right down in the description too, if you're interested. Yeah. Go ahead, Zach. Oh, I think you might have frozen up again.
One thing I do want to stress though is,
man, you're leaving us on.
I know.
What do you want to
hear me?
You're coming in and out. I think. All right, we might have you back now. Go ahead, Trey. I think we got you.
All right. Am I good? Just give me a thumbs up. Thumbs
So
down.
far, so good.
Okay, good. So one thing I do want, thank you. One thing I do want to stress though is that for a launch, especially like this, there's going to be so many fake contracts. So anyone watching that wants to get in on the real Tradix, do not buy any contract unless it is pinned by one of the three people on here, right? You could join our Telegram. You could watch out for, the contract to be dropped. There's going to be a ton of people joining the Telegram posting fake contracts. There's going to be people even joining the Telegram, even if we have it muted, with their name saying, we're now live, buy this, buy this contract. Don't buy anything unless it's pinned by Hugo, myself, or Tyler. So that's just something I want to make very, very clear for tomorrow. Yes, it'll be afternoon. Yes, it'll be in our Telegram, but don't buy anything unless it's pinned. There's going to be a ton of contracts, Tradix contracts launched, people trying to get money from you, bad actors out there. So just get ready for it, and then do not buy unless it's pinned by us.
Appreciate that. So make sure you guys are locked into the Telegram. That's where all the important information will be for tomorrow. They do launch tomorrow. So for people just checking in and maybe had that question, and the site will be the app should be live tomorrow. If not, then just on the 10th or on the 10th. So good stuff there. Common Sense. Appreciate that super chat earlier too, man. Really, really do. You didn't have to do that. Tradix isn't launching with hopes and dreams. The utility is now open and in operation. Yeah, I think we were speaking to that earlier, right? I mean, instead of hey, we're going to launch now and build a metaverse 12 months from now, what Tradix is doing, and I think what quality DeFi companies are doing, they're launching with utility day one. Yeah. Sure, they could have more utilities roll out over time, but the minute they go live, they're going to offer something to the marketplace. And you guys want to speak to that? Is that something you've seen kind of as a shift now as we have moved in through this bear market?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. A lot of people are pushing, because it used to be you could make money no matter what. Right. You give some empty promises, get CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, and a couple callers, and you're good. Yep. And then if you're actually building it, you just fund it, come back later. Now it's kind of, you could ruin your project if you launch. So there are multiple projects with utilities that are coming to us at Rolodex that want us to fund them, and they've all put off their launch and they've decided to build right now. And I think right now is just the time of building, and it's going to make for some successful projects, and it's going to kind of raise the standard because now people are actually going to have something at launch, and now the community is going to expect that from everybody.
But, you know, Tyler, I think that's, again, the evolution, right? I think that will become the de facto standard. In fact, in my opinion, it has. I mean, if I'm looking at investing in a project, and let's say it's a newish project, I would be looking for exactly, if I didn't know you guys and I came across this, I'd be looking for exactly what you're doing. You've developed, you spent time, money, energy, effort to develop your utility, and you launch. You have a clearly defined reason why you're launching a token associated with your project. You have, all of those things are in play. If I'm looking at another project and they're like, oh, hey, we're going to launch and then we're going to go develop this thing a year, I'm like, all right, no, I'm good. See you. I think it's changing, and I think it's just the evolution. So my 2 cents.
Yeah.
So Boca is one of our guys who's always in the chat. Appreciate you so much, Boca. He wants to know if the app will be live before token launch, kind of which one's first, I think he's asking. If you guys want to respond.
Well, token launch will definitely be live first. The whole idea is to have both the app and the token launch at the same time, but we can't control what really happens in the Play Store or in the App Store. It's in there. They are working on having it live. But yeah, what I'm trying to do is tomorrow I'm gonna, get the app to some of our admins. So they're gonna, start, of course, showing videos of them working on it or how it technically works, and then it's gonna go live on the App Store. So to answer your question, we have turned it in. We are just waiting, for them to push it out, which I was told that it could be on the 9th or on the 10th.
Cool.
Something cool too. There's a promo video out right now. And if you look at the actual images on the promo video, all of those images, all of those videos are from the actual application.
Is it the one on the Twitter here?
Yes. Yes. Gotcha. So none of those have been made, to look like it or anything like that. Those are actually from the Tradix app.
Yep. I'll play it right now, actually. Give me 1 sec. Let me pop us over here. Let me go full screen. There we go. Boom.
You want to talk us through it, Hugo? It can be like the Morgan Freeman voiceover.
Morgan Freeman voice, right?
AI can do that for you now.
Yeah.
Yes. So you're seeing just a bunch of the alerts and where you're setting the alerts. And here's even the trading features. These are, this would be in V2. So you're actually able to toggle between them to be able to set your orders. This is from the application. So anything that you see in this video is what you'll actually see on the app. And just as a reminder, the alerts, it's not just for Ethereum. So you can set alerts for, BSC tokens. You can set, like I mentioned earlier, Palm Chain. I'm invested in a lot of the new Palm Chain tokens popping up. You can set alerts for any of those. So you're having cross-chain alerts, regardless of what you're investing in, all in the application. And the trading features that will start on Ethereum and then build out from there. So everything that you saw in the video, that's real, that's developed, that's on the actual application.
That's good stuff. Good stuff. Let's see here. We've got another one from Daniel here. Looking at your white paper, it's unclear how the project's actually generating revenues. Is the capital raised profits from the related token, or am I missing something? Zach, I know we talked about this. I had the same question for you when we initially sat down. If you want to jump in, or Hugo, or anybody want to speak to this.
Yeah. So in addition to, and I don't want to divulge too much because it is something as a team I want to make sure that we all release when it's agreed upon. But there's later stages of the token, later stages of the application that will be generating revenue. And Zach, we spoke on specifics with this, but it is going to be a way for the project as a whole to generate revenue when the masses are then utilizing the application rather than just the people that have accumulated enough tokens in order to reach the premium features. So we will put out a full statement on this and what that means. But there is a plan in place in order to allow the masses to come in and utilize all features, and which will generate revenue for the project as a whole.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So let's see here. What a strong team from the funding, marketing to the launch. Appreciate everybody in here. Randy Talley, Common Sense, everybody out there on a Sunday. I know the NFL is coming up, so that's why we want to do it now. And everybody's maybe hunkered down, getting a cold beverage in their hand and watching some football. So hopefully you're hanging out with us, learning about Tradix a little bit before you do that. So Daniel says, so your V2 will support trading execution and purchase rather than just tracking. Are you taking fees for revenue, subscription fees? How is this making money?
So we kind of just touched on that. That's as far in as we'll kind of go with it. With the,
I don't think
they
want
to. But we also want to clarify, Daniel. I don't know if Daniel was here earlier. We also want to clarify that Tradix is actually not executing the trade. So there's not like Tradix is sitting on their own decks, right? So Daniel, that's one answer. The rest of it, they're going to defer a little bit. They do have plans for revenue generation associated with the app, but no, it's just the execution, Daniel, still happens in your wallet. So it's just an API or not, whatever. It's an interface where it goes and it tells it to go execute. Okay.
And Daniel, the token does have a tax. So we're going to be getting some tax back on that token in the initial phases. But we do have a plan down the line.
Do you have an idea on buy and sell tax? I know people like to know. Is it something Token Sniffer could probably tell us as soon as it comes out?
It'll be able to tell. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I was going to say everything. We're going to release a full statement at launch of the full breakdown of the tax on all of the tokenomics as well. So that's gonna be supply, maximum transactions, maximum wallets, tax in and out, all of that information. It's not hidden in a sense of trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but more so like we were saying, anti-bot, anti-sniper, because it's just one of those things that we need to make sure we're safe upon. But if anyone is wary or just wants to wait, immediately following the deployment and opening trading, we'll be releasing all of that information.
Awesome.
Thank you, Zach. So I think in looking at the clock, we're coming up on an hour. So Tyler, I want to go back to a question a statement you made earlier, but about how you guys pushed for kind of the market, right? You were kind of hoping that crypto, and we're all living in the market every day. So this is not a specific Tradix question, and so it's open to any of you guys, because Zach and I, Zach and I, there you go, have these kind of conversations all the time. What's your guys' opinion as far as the market? It's like most of you guys are active traders in some form or fashion. So what do y'all think January, February holds for us from the market standpoint? You got inflation out there. What's the Fed going to do or anything like that? So I'm just curious. I always love to ask these questions when you start talking to people that are in crypto. So whoever wants to take that.
I mean, for me, God, there's so much going around right now.
I'll jump in. Go ahead, Tyler.
I think you're
there's so much to talk about.
Zach's delayed. That's Zach.
Honestly, I'm not even trading right now, and I haven't been paying a ton of attention to it other than what are we going to do with the Tradix launch. And I always looked at things on kind of that micro level of, because I made all my money off of brand new launches, meme coins, what's working right now. And, I'm thinking we're looking at a good January. I am worried about looking at the macro market as a whole. If it all comes down, like we may be at our bottom, but, we could collapse even more. So I'm trying not to think about it too much. And, it's one of those things where, especially with the launch coming up, I want to say the market's gonna pick up and look great. And I'm just trying to think positive with that, to be honest.
Zach, you want something? You want to hop in?
Yeah, sorry, Zach.
Is he there?
Did he freeze up again?
I think we lost Zach.
Charles.
Yeah, I don't know when I don't know when I'm cutting in or out.
Okay. Yeah, you're frozen, but we can hear you a little bit.
Yeah, I'll jump in. If I start cutting out, just kick me out of the room. All right.
We can hear you perfect now.
All right. I'll just start screaming at my computer. Okay, great. Yeah. So, I mean, December is notoriously like a wash month, right? And so December will usually see a lot of big whales, selling at a loss to, kind of wash out the tax implications and kind of level things out. And I think people really want a good year, especially after, what we saw last year of just people getting wrecked left and right and hitting the lows and hanging out there. I think that we're going to start to see a really good year pushing out a couple months. But this is exactly where we need to launch, because if we launch at the low where it is right now, and we steadily gain more and more and more traction as the market's going up more and more and more, people are setting themselves up perfectly to launch right now, in my opinion. You're gonna hit a stride as the market is starting to pick up.
Absolutely. And just to add to that, Zach, I think crypto people will always be crypto people. Like, the market is so small right now that you can literally jump from one launch to the other and recognize all of the faces there, or most of the faces. It's like, oh, hey, it's like any token at all that I jump into, I at least know like 10 people plus that are from previous projects. So I think crypto people will always buy crypto regardless. It's just there isn't fresh faces, fresh blood that is coming into crypto. And I think it's just that safety net that is a problem. I mean, how many projects do you buy that is a complete rug? Like I from my own opinion, I think 99% of every project is technically a rug. It's only that 1% chance that you have. And this is what Tradix is trying to solve. So just look at it from a perspective of, if the dev starts to rug or a bunch of wallets starts to sell, you can get notified that people, that the token is extremely dropping at an alarming rate, and you can sell. That's for the V1, or the V2, you just set it to when it drops below a specific limit, just sell and just get out from me. So I think, it's just having that safety. I think that is just not in the market right now. And I think it's getting worse, so I'm just hoping that with, what we are trying to do for the market, trying to be legitimate to a point where we're trying to prove that you could still have good product and still make money. I think that's the main thing, that could matter. And maybe all the projects that have good utility as well could also come out, and that trust will be back into DeFi.
Hugo, I think that's a perfect way to end the live stream. I really appreciate you, Tyler, Zach, for joining here. Great conversation. Hopefully everybody out there has enjoyed it as well. We're going to do another one of these AMAs. It'll be on Austin's channel next. I think shortly after launch, I think is kind of what we decided on.
Yeah, I'd like to. And I mean, Tyler, Dave, Tyler, Charles, Hugo. Okay. So look at, he's frozen with his hand up now.
He really does look like Charles Hoskinson now. I mean, that's
a compliment.
We're gonna have to get stickers made.
Yeah, you got to get.
I love it, man.
So
it's all fun, man.
Yeah, I'd like to do it definitely. Maybe so there's no defined time, so we'll talk in our group and kind of figure it out. But maybe before Friday for sure. So I would like to do it. We'll whatever's best. So yeah, there's an AMA similar to this. We're gonna hang out and we'll have some new stuff to talk about. You'll have the launch, things like that, maybe. And I know, Hugo, you're frustrated with Apple and Google Store because you're at their, you're just at their whim of when the actual app launches. So it's been good hanging out with you guys, and I definitely have taken a few notes on some stuff. That's good stuff. So thanks.
Definitely
appreciate it, guys. It was a lot of fun.
Yep, appreciate everybody
thank
out
you for
there
having
listening.
us on here.
Go ahead, Zach.
No, you know, I don't know if I'm frozen or not. I'm about to throw up some hand signals. I was
You're
just
good
going to
right
say,
now.
I
Perfect.
appreciate you guys. Yeah, I appreciate you guys having us on. Thank you. I mean, it's always great coming onto a platform like this to be able to share some positive news, because, you know, after the year we've had of such terrible news and you know, repeatedly terrible news, it's really nice to come out here and talk about something fun. So I really do appreciate it. And like I say on every AMA or every time we do a video, if anyone is listening out there that has questions or, you know, wants to talk more about the project, come into the Telegram or even hit me up directly. You know, I've been nothing but an open book, you know, for as long as we've been rolling with all this stuff. So feel free to come in, ask some questions, and yeah, come join the crew.
Awesome, man. It was a pleasure hanging out with everybody here today. And again, Tradix going live, launching tomorrow, the token launching and the application launching as well, either tomorrow or the next day. So be on the lookout. All the links down below in the description. Do your own homework, do your own due diligence. As we always say, check it all out. See if it's a good investment for you. See if it's a good application for you too, if you're in this DeFi space. So we'll be doing this again very soon on the other side of the launch. Have an incredible Sunday. Everybody here on the call, and we'll see you guys very soon. See ya.
Thanks, guys.